If people are on the fence for doing this, the only, I'm not sure what would keep people on the fence from doing this. If you don't feel like you have your nutrition in control, this is going to help you. So after the first 6 weeks, I think my results were probably a little unusual, maybe. I'm not sure what the right term is. I lost a lot of weight just by cleaning up my diet. I ended up losing 20 pounds overall. I don't remember the exact fat versus muscle breakdown, but it was a pretty significant amount. And I just felt better. My clothes were fitting better again, which is always a really good thing because it feels like it opens up this entire new wardrobe. And then it was making my workouts easier, of course, having less weight to move around. So I was seeing improvements in pretty much every aspect of my life. Well, for me, I have been going to the gym for a while, and I saw some really good progress when I started kind of trying to focus on nutrition a little bit more and going to the gym more frequently. But then I kind of plateaued and I wasn't really making any more progress. So I started going to the gym more, pushing myself harder in the gym. I felt like I was getting stronger, but I still wasn't seeing some of the other benefits that I was hoping to get. And I wanted to not only prove to myself that I could do it, but also be a good role model. As I had a kid this year, so I want to be a good role model for him. I want to be able to play with him when he's older, and not get winded, not be tired out, and not able to keep up, and also be able to be a role model to my wife, who had just given birth to my son, and so she was going through all those changes as well, and me trying to be supportive, make sure that I'm able to help cook these healthy, nutritional meals for our family. Really trying to ingrain that I needed to make a lifestyle change from what I was doing, and figuring out how to make that work. I can make excuses with the best of them and make excuses for the reasons why I do everything I do that I shouldn't do. But every decision that I make is either getting me closer to my goals or it's not. And when I started looking at everything through that lens and figuring out what was important to me, it was a lot easier to start making those smart choices with my food. Difference was probably the best I've ever seen around the holidays. I know everyone talks about gaining their winter weight and everything like that, and my weight did not change hardly at all. So I was really happy about that I was able to mostly maintain through the holidays, which is probably a first for me because I don't think I've ever been able to do that. And now I'm right back on track as my routine's back in order. With the HSN app, you'll be in a group with a whole bunch of other people that are basically going through the same thing. There's no stupid questions, so being able to say stuff in that group and ask people questions like, okay, I don't really like steamed broccoli, and I don't want to eat asparagus for the 10th meal in a row. What do you guys recommend? And people offer you things that they've done to maybe spice it up a little bit or change that up. They do give you meal plans in the 6-week challenge that kind of helps you figure out what you can or should be eating. But those aren't necessarily, you don't have to follow those strictly to a T. There's a lot of goodness in those meals, and you can mix and match them in different ways and find really good combinations. And some of the other people will probably do that as well. But finding something that you like, if you can incorporate that on a regular basis, make sure that it's always kind of a staple for you. If that is something that works for you, that's a really easy way to always stay on track. When you can reflect on what went well and what didn't well week to week, it's just gonna make you so much more successful in the long run. And so what I started doing was portioning it all out, either the night before or for the whole week. I would have it ready to go so I could just grab it out of the fridge and leave the house. Just stuff like that. If I wouldn't have taken the time to reflect on it, I probably wouldn't have had success with that. But it was also something that came up in our group conversations that people talked about having an issue with. It's going to help you figure out what you need to do, and you can take those lessons learned and apply them going forward, and you don't need to pay that cost again. And it's really what kind of value do you put on that? And for me, it was an easy decision.